In this video, I'll be showing you the best non-verbal autism apps that you need right away, so that by the end of the video, you'll know which ones to download. Coming up. These apps are some of the best ones that are proven in academic and educational establishments to help improve people of non-verbal autism spectrum conditions, and they are awesome. They are not the same old rubbish that you might have come across a couple of times in like people's blog posts. These are really good ones that I've looked at and I know for a fact work because my partner used to work directly with these apps. Hey, my name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD, and dyslexia. I make weekly videos on all this type of content, so if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more, remember to hit that subscribe button by clicking the notification bell so you don't miss out any videos. And also, if you're watching over on Facebook, make sure to hit that like and follow button to see daily videos from me. So these apps aren't just kind of like a random assortment of apps that I've just found that are just related to autism. These ones are specifically for people with non-verbal autism spectrum conditions, and they are proven to work, and there's some really good ones in here, so I'm very excited to share these with you. Okay, so before we get started with the video, I'd just like to ask a question. I want to know, are you a parent or family member or a person with autism, or are you a healthcare professional or a professional working in the field? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I read and respond to every single one, so I'd love to open up that dialogue and have a conversation with you, so please do that right now. I did a video all about autism apps before, but the video I did before on autism apps are just general ones to help people with daily tasks and executive functions and stuff, so I'll leave a link for that in a card above here, and also in the description below. If you just look down for autism apps video, you'll see a link for that. But this video is all about autism, non-verbal autism, and non-verbal autistic people, and apps that will help them and you achieve goals. Oh, and also I have a list of like autism essentials, like maybe like chew toys or autism alert cards and stuff like that in the description below, so please check that out if you want to look at what I recommend as autism essential items. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do is I have my iPad here, so I'm going to put the iPad, I'm going to record the screen so I can show you guys the apps that I'm talking about in the App Store so you can see for yourself. Okay, so the first one we're looking at here is Proloquio to Go. Now this is basically an augmentative communicative app that shows pictures only and picture and text, so you can do both. So if we have a look on these here, you can actually have little pictures here and then like little text underneath it, and this is a great way for people to communicate. There are image buttons that basically create sentences, and you can see here how you can actually build up certain types of sentences, and you can also label them differently as well. So if you have a different word for something, then you can also label that. If you have a different word for something, you can also label that as well, so which is kind of cool. Obviously there's a dark mode for it, which is pretty amazing, but this idea comes from I think it's PEX, where you have like visual representations of certain things and certain items, so you can actually point at the thing you want. Now Proloquio to Go actually has a voice activation thing, so I'm pretty sure you can like press a button and it will actually speak it out, so you can load this onto your kid's iPad and then they can actually use it for actually speaking, so you can get them to type out a sentence for themselves. So if you're a non-verbal autistic person, this is going to be a lifesaver because you can just string together a sentence with this thing, which is just absolutely amazing, and it's very easy on the eyes. All of these symbols are very easy to see and deal with, and this one has got an amazing review. It's actually got 5 stars on the Apple App Store here, and also it actually has a bunch of like little examples, so you can actually go and check this out before you want to purchase it. It actually has a very high price of $249.99. Now that is a very high price, but the product is fantastic. This is industry standard. So when my girlfriend Naomi was working for a special educational needs school here, they actually had this loaded onto all of the iPads that they used to speak with the kids who are non-verbal, and it absolutely worked a treat. So the kids really enjoyed using the iPad, as all kids do, but they actually were able to enjoy and learn something new about that as well. So that is the Proloquio to Go. I will leave a link for every single app I'm talking about in the description below, so you can click through to check that out. Now, for anybody using Android, I'm not entirely sure if this is on Android as well. I'm guessing it will be because this is a really good item and it's a really good product. So definitely check it out as well. Any of the ones I'm mentioning probably can find them on the Android store, but for this video specifically, I'm looking on an iPad for the App Store for these specific apps. Okay, let's get on with number 2. Up Okay guys, before we go any further, I just want to say that I'm actually after some more friends on Twitter and Instagram. So if you have Twitter and Instagram, go give me a follow right now. I usually follow back on Twitter anyway, so please go and do that right now. It'll be super awesome. I love having new friends on Instagram and Twitter. My links for that are in the description below. I'll do that now. Okay, so this next app is called Birdhouse for Autism. Now, this Birdhouse actually do a bunch of other different apps. They do stuff for like epilepsy and things like that, but this one is for autism specifically. And the idea of this one is that caregivers and like mums and dads or caregivers or social workers and stuff like that can actually keep track of the activities that the person you're looking after can do. So it's like keeping track of behaviors and health and daily tasks. So you put all of these in like an entry. As you can see here, there's like therapy, poop, it's interesting one, lunch, meltdown, irritable, just woke up. So by doing this, it's almost like keeping a diary track of everything that you're doing with the person that you're taking care of. Now, this one actually doesn't have any reviews on here, but it's completely free, so I definitely recommend checking it out. And it's actually one of the top rated ones that people are using to actually keep track of things that, like almost like a diary. So this one is more for the caregivers to keep track of the people who they're taking care of, especially parents. If you're looking at, if you're looking after a child on the spectrum, a non-verbal child, then keeping tabs on things may be difficult because you want to be able to, you won't be able to ask them specifically what did they do and what have they done. So if you keep track of it on a little diary, then it's shared across everything. So mum and dad can see it, the caregivers can see it, even teachers can see it. So it's a very good app to have on the iPad that you are caring for the child with. So I would load this onto the iPad that the kid actually has, and then also encourage like teachers and stuff that they need to use that app to document and diary everything that happens in that day. Like I said, this one is free, so definitely worth getting. There's not enough ratings on here to give you guys an overview, but I know that it works very well on an iPad, and I know a few people have used this, and it's very, very good. So Birdhouse for Autism, again, this is going to be linked down below, so you can definitely check this one out as well. Guys, if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more videos like this, please can you give this video a thumbs up by hitting the thumbs up button down below, that little bar down below there, because this really helps me out and helps this video out and helps other people in turn. So basically you'll be helping me and a bunch of other people out. If you can do that, it'd be amazing. I'm trying to get past 400 likes. So if you look at it right now, I don't know what number it's on, but if we can just get it past 400 likes, it'd be amazing. Thank you so much. Okay guys, so this next app is called ChoiceWorks. Now this one is very interesting. Again, this one's got a 4.5 rating, a 4.5 star rating on the Apple App Store, and this one is to help children complete daily routines and tasks and understand controlling feelings and all that kind of stuff. So let's look at some of the previews here. So you can see how they do what I first need to do and then what I've done. So it's a little timer on those things, and this app is just amazing because you don't need to have anybody to talk. You just need to keep track of certain things. But if you can visually see the representation of what you're doing, then the person on the spectrum will feel way better. So this one, look, I am waiting. There's a specific command and a task to do, and there's a timer on it, so they know exactly how long they're going to do it for. And then they have a choice at the bottom. They want to color or they want to use the computer. So they get, after completing that task, then they can use one of those reward systems. But check it out. Look, when I am upset, you can go to your mum and dad for help, or you can take a break, and then you can watch a DVD or you can play some games. Now, this is really interesting because this also tracks with a feelings book right down the bottom there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little green feelings book where you can log how you feel, which is pretty amazing. How am I feeling? So you can actually show your child, you can point to show you how they're feeling. So you can say, I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling confused, I'm feeling worried, I'm feeling upset, I'm feeling scared. You can like fill this with whatever you want. So you can tap that, and then the parents will know exactly how their child is feeling because they've expressed it in this specific way. Now, there's a bunch more screenshots on here that show you how you can keep track of the data. So it tells you the date and the time and typically the mood of the person. So what this does specifically is that having this kind of like chart of this red, yellow and green thing, it can tell you that you know exactly what tasks you were doing at whatever time of the day, probably using the other app as well if you want to keep track of it. Then you'll know what tasks are actually making more red on the chart than green on the chart, which is going to be very, very useful for trying to figure out what triggers are triggering people and what things are you want to try and avoid. There's also a school schedule, there's nighttime sleeping schedules, waiting for the bus, obviously they're the waiting one, they're the worried things we saw, upset, okay, confused and worried. These are all like symbols, like quick shortcuts that you can put onto the home screen, and you can add these and customize them yourself. So there's like an image editor as well, so you can like, you know, create images and you know, label them as what you want and put them down as any feelings. This is highly recommended. This one, again, you have to pay for, which costs £9.99. So if you're in America, I don't know what that is in dollars, but this one, again, 4.5 star rating, very, very useful, amazing reviews. So parents and stuff, highly recommend this. It's an amazing app. And you know, for people with ADHD as well and dyslexia, this app actually rules. So I would highly recommend using this one with the Birdhouse for Autism one if you were trying to collect the data, so that, you know, you want to know what triggers your kid, or you want to know what kind of upsets your kid, or you're looking to try and like overcome meltdowns and stuff. Okay, so this next app, this is quite an interesting one. This is number 4. Now, this app doesn't actually exist on the App Store. I actually checked the App Store on my iPhone and my iPad, and I really couldn't find it on there. So that's quite an interesting one. So this one specifically is called I Can Have a Conversation With You, and this website is icanforautism.com. Now, you buy it specifically from their website and to download the app, but it's basically designed as, and I'll read the description out here. As you can see it on the screen, I'll read the description out. It's designed to help children with conversations, social skills. The app provides a unique solution to parents who want to empower their child to initiate and understand and participate in conversations. An easy to follow up, self-explanatory program engages the learner's interest with a fun, supportive environment that the learner can communicate in a natural way. So it says you can get it in the App Store. So if we click on this and see what happens, so it's currently not available in the App Store. But if we go back to here, you can actually buy it from their website. I don't know how much it is specifically. It doesn't actually say the cost on here. But this one was one of the most rated ones out of all the kind of like online conversation type apps and stuff. And as you can see, this is a vast array of things that that can definitely help. And so it says it's in the App Store for iPad, but when I click on it, I don't find it, but it could be because I'm using an iPad Pro and not a normal iPad. So this is a very interesting app that's got crazy reviews, and you can actually watch some of the videos of it on YouTube as well, and take a like a virtual tour on a website if you want to take a video tour. So I highly recommend checking this out, looking on there. It's one of the better ones for creating conversation, because you actually learn through making those conversation pieces, which I find very valuable, and everybody's going to get crazy value from that. Hey guys, if you think that this video can help somebody, or help a mum and a dad or a carer, somebody struggling with a nonverbal autistic child, then please share this video on your Facebook and your Twitter and your Instagram pages and your Instagram stories to help send people to this video, so that they will be able to gain this information and we can help other people who are struggling in that area. Okay guys, so the last app I'm going to talk about, and it's like actually my favorite app because I feel like it works for everybody across the board, is actually Teemo. Now, Teemo is an app that's specifically designed for ADHD and autism, and I have used this a bunch of times to actually go to do different events in the United States and in the UK and stuff. And basically what it is a picture-based scheduling platform where you can input the data that you want to do. So basically, say you have a bunch of tasks to do and you want to be able to log them in on Teemo for a period of time, you can do so using their actual app. So basically, you load up the app and then you actually go in and you put in the schedules of like, okay, so on Monday at like 2 o'clock I've got a meeting, then I've got to eat, you know, dinner at like 3 o'clock, and then we're going out to the movies for like 5, and all of those things go on there. But they also have this lovely little animation, as you can see here. This one's got like a lion on there, and this shows you what the thing is you're doing, and it gives you a clock, like a countdown to how long you're doing it for. This also comes across onto your Apple Watch as well, or your Android Watch. You can get this on Android and Apple. And the other thing, the beauty of it is, say you're setting tasks for your kid, so different lessons in school, or what you're doing after school, or hanging out with friends, or doing an event or whatever, then you actually can go on your laptop, type in what you want to send to the app, and then it puts it all on the app, and then your kid will just get the alert on their watch, which is absolutely fantastic. And I find that amazing. Having that level of capability with any app is going to do you an absolute just world of good. Now, this app, you get the app for free, but there is a like a monthly subscription to use the app. This has got 4.1 ratings on this App Store, which is amazing. It helps with structures, timings, routines, everything. Now, I use this specifically when I was going away for business. So I was going to VidCon in USA, in LA, and I needed to know, like, you know, what time my driver was going to come, know what time the flights were. I needed to know what time I was getting to the hotel, what time check-in was, remembering to take my medication, remembering to eat lunch, because a lot of people on the spectrum, like myself, kind of forget to eat foods. Then another one was like what time I have to be at certain places for certain meetings, when I have to get up, all that kind of stuff, how long I spend in the gym, everything. And because of that, it was absolutely just a godsend, a lifesaver, because it comes up on your Apple Watch and you're just like, you get this like alert and you're like, oh shoot, yeah, I've got to do this thing for the next like 10 or 15 minutes, which was just absolutely outstanding. So I applaud Teemo. They're amazing. And I've worked with them a bunch of times. I even went to their office in Copenhagen, and it was really, really nice to meet everybody there and the people working on the app. And they are so humbly just wanting to help people. I highly recommend checking them out. So if you check out every single app, I will leave a link for them in the description below, and that would just be super awesome. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to see more by hitting the subscribe button. And if you want to see more videos from me, click the next video card right here, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.